Yes, good afternoon, all of you. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So, thank you, Professor Shivja, for inviting me, for giving me this opportunity to meet all of you. So, anyway, I won't take much of your time. Actually, my program was scheduled for tomorrow, but from tomorrow onwards, for the next 3 days, our department is hosting an international symposium and also a national conference in the area of geotech engineering and concrete technology. So I had to just prepone my brief interaction to today. Anyway, I from the interaction which you had with Professor Deeba, she's my friend. I know her earlier. I think she might have covered various fundamentals of research. Anyway, I will just limit to some of my experiences. Some of experiences in research after my PhD. I don't know whether the participants, whether they are doing PhD or whether they are completed PhD. ഈ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പൻസിലെ മിക്കവരും എങ്ങനെ PhD കഴിഞ്ഞവരാണോ PhD ചെയ്യുന്നവരാണോ എങ്ങനെയാണിത്?
PhD ചെയ്യുന്നവരുണ്ട്, PhD ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നവരുണ്ട് സർ.
PhD കഴിഞ്ഞവരുണ്ടോ?
കഴിഞ്ഞ കുറച്ച് പേരുണ്ട്, വളരെ കുറച്ച് പേരുണ്ട്.
Okay, fine. Now, see, anyway, I heard some of you asking doubts about publications. How do we get it published and how much is the waiting period, everything. These are the doubts which we have while we do PhD. Now, when I was doing my PhD, but because, doing PhD was tough, I was a part-time scholar. And along with my work at LBS as HOD, simultaneously I was doing. See, before that, among the participants, I can see a name, Agoma Martin. Agoma Martin, LBS work Agoma Martin ആണോ ഇത്? ആണോ? Thank you. So happy meeting you again. She is my former colleague. Now, see, when you do PhD, when I reached about 4 years, കഴിയാറായപ്പോ I thought ഈ PhD കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് വേണം റിസർച്ച് ഒക്കെ മതിയാക്കാൻ, എന്നിട്ടും സ്വസ്ഥമായിട്ട് ജീവിക്കാൻ. That was what actually ഞാൻ അന്നേ കരുതി അങ്ങനെയാണ്. That was what I had in my mind. അപ്പോൾ ആ സമയത്ത് എന്റെ അനിയത്തി ഡോക്ടർ ജയകുമാരി, പുള്ളിക്കാരി PhD കഴിഞ്ഞു. ആൻഡ് അന്ന് പുള്ളിക്കാരി ചേട്ടാ ഇപ്പൊ എനിക്ക് തോന്നും, പക്ഷേ കംപ്ലീഷൻ ഓഫ് PhD ഈസ് ഓൺലി ബിഗിനിങ് ഓഫ് യുവർ റിസർച്ച്. ഞാൻ PhD ചെയ്ത് കഴിയുമ്പോഴേക്കും നമ്മുടെ രക്തത്തിൽ തന്നെ ആ റിസർച്ച് കൾച്ചർ കുറേശ്ശെ വന്നിരിക്കും. നമ്മൾ പിന്നെ റിസർച്ച് പിന്നെ മാറി പോകില്ല. Then we will continue research in lot of other ways, that is in the way of guiding our students or in the way innovations or in the way of industry consultancy and to go on. Then in the PhD, that was in a very, very new area in pre-stress reinforced soil. I started in 2010 at NIT Surathkal. അന്ന് അതിൽ ഒറ്റ പബ്ലിക്കേഷനേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഒരു ടെക്സ്റ്റ് ബുക്കിൽ യാതൊരു മാറ്ററും ഇല്ല, ഒരേ പബ്ലിക്കേഷൻ. അതിൽ നിന്നാണ് അപ്പൊ എനിക്കാണെങ്കിൽ റെഫർ ചെയ്യാൻ ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ അധികം കിട്ടിയില്ല. ബട്ട് സോ സിൻസ് ഇറ്റ് വാസ് എ ന്യൂ ടോപ്പിക്, വെരി ന്യൂ ടോപ്പിക്, getting publications were quite easy because somebody was asking whether there's an overlap and all. In my area there were no overlap at all. Anyway, that depends on the area you choose, that depends on the topic you choose. And publications and all, sometimes if we go to Elsevier and all, that may take more than 1 year. എനിക്ക് Elsevier paper ഉണ്ട്, that took more than about 15 months. സമയം എടുക്കും. That depends on the journal. Anyway, I will start sharing a PPT. I don't know how to share PPT. PPT share ചെയ്യുന്നത് എങ്ങനെയാ ഇതില്? I am new to WebEx. I think I see this way.
Sir, it's coming. Okay, sir.
Yeah. See, the advice which I want to give to all of you is, എല്ലാവരും റിസർച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നവരായിരിക്കാം, because all of you are faculty members. Now, for our career, there is a compulsion to do research. So, നമ്മളൊരു compulsion വേണ്ടി റിസർച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നു. But once you complete a PhD, then you must not stop your research. കാരണം research is the key to all innovations. Because, for example, you see this mobile phone. When I was doing my BTech in the 1980s, this was not there even in my wildest dreams. All these are contributions by our senior engineers. Whatever technology, even the laptop which I use, or whatever gadgets we use in the field of medical electronics or in the field of biomedical electronics, or wherever we see, these are the contributions of research by our seniors or by our forefathers. Then what is our contribution society? So just for the sake of getting publication, don't do research. So when you do research, always keep in mind some out of this research, from the outcome of our research, what do we give to society? Anyway, I'll just briefly share two of my experiences, two of my small research projects, which I did with the financial help of industry. One with the financial help of Airports Authority of India, other one with the financial help of CERD, Center for Engineering Research and Development. I'll just briefly share. And so please remember, research is the we have examples like the country of Japan. In the 1940s, after Second World War, the country was burned down by two atomic bombs. By two atom bombs, the country was devastated. അങ്ങനെ നശിച്ച് കത്തിക്കരിഞ്ഞ് തകർന്ന് തരിപ്പണമായ ജപ്പാൻ ഇന്ന് എവിടെ എത്തി? What is its status now? എന്തായിരുന്നു അതിന്റെ കാരണം? It is due to innovations. It is due to because they did, of course, the people are more disciplined, and there is a lot of research. The technology got very much advanced. That reflected in their economy. So research is the key to innovation. But unfortunately, now the funding available, even though there are many sources, of course, see, I think from central government there are plenty of avenues available to get funding. Even I got DST funding for my for international travel to attend a conference in Korea 2 years back. There are plenty of agents. I think some of the speakers will talk on that in detail. Anyway, I will restrict to now. I will be focusing two of my practical research experiences. So I'll just of course, before going into my presentation, I was told by Professor Shimja that some of the participants are from Civil Engineering Department. So I am inviting the faculty members of Civil Engineering Department to the event which I am organizing in my institute from tomorrow onwards. See, we are organizing a national conference on geotechnics and concrete structures. That is on 26th and 27th, day after tomorrow and then the day after. Then tomorrow, there is an international symposium on laterites and other tropical soils, which is organized by International Society for Soil Mechanics and Geotech Engineering. There are plenty of speakers. Dr. Joshua Omar from UK, London, Professor Anthony Kwan Leung from Hong Kong. Then from India, we have Professor Shivakumar Babu from IISc Bangalore, Professor Shivashankar from NIT Surathkal, Dr. Ganeshan from NIT Calicut, Professor Avoyka from Goa Engineering College. Then these are people from CET. Professor Balan Ittai from CET. Engineer Sunil Jacob, he is a Deputy Chief Engineer of United Nations, Kenya. And Professor Unnikrishnan from Thrissur Engineering College. Ajit Nair from Kottayam Government College. Then these people from CET, Priyarshini and Jaya. Dr. Thomas Anish, he is Soil Survey Officer of Government of Kerala, and this is myself. So, see, those who want to register for the program, please visit our website, www.geocon2020.com. You can register as a delegate. Registration is purely free. You can attend the tomorrow symposium as well as the lectures, all these people in the coming 2-3 days. So I invite all the civil engineering faculty for this program. Of course, this is the meaning of research, which I just took from Wikipedia. I think this I will not go into. Now, I will just discuss two small practical projects. This is a project which we did for Trivandrum International Airport. Anyway, all of you might have seen Trivandrum International Airport. This is the IATA code. Now, government, both central and state governments are planning plenty of development projects at Trivandrum International Airport. Of course, now that is in news also, because about the handing over to those Adani people. Whatever it is, whether it goes to Adani or not, Airports Authority of India, they are planning plenty of developmental projects. They are acquiring more land. They are constructing additional runways. They are planning to construct additional runways, additional aprons and taxiways. So, in a site for an additional apron, See, apron is the place where they park this aircraft. That is designed for aircraft loading. Anyway, as per the requirement, see now this research project, this was done to solve a problem faced by Airports Authority of India. And this is not part of my PhD or anything like that. After my research, this is a research project which was funded by Airports Authority of India. See, under the apron, in the soil, there's a particular parameter we call as modulus of subgrade reaction, pressure by settlement. I think civil faculty will know. They want a value, as per the specification, they want a value of 24.3 meganewton per meter cube. But when we went and tested, we got only a value of 11.52. Now, this value, we have to enhance it to 24.3. Now, Airports Authority of India, they wanted us to devise a method by which they can enhance the modulus of subgrade reaction of soil from 11.52 to 24.3. See, there is no well-defined methods. We can combat soil, then density will improve. So when density improves, modulus also will improve. But there is no correlation between density and modulus. So we had to find that correlation. So, this was the site. I visited there. This is the location of the site of our apron before construction. This was about 2 years back when I visited. These are the authorities of. Can you see the movement of my cursor? Is the movement of my cursor visible? Hello?
No, sir.
No, the movement of my cursor, is it visible? Movement of my cursor?
No, sir. No, sir. We can't see.
No, sir.
See, is the PPT visible? Is the PPT visible?
Introduction PPT, sir.
Oh,
Yes,
I
please.
change. No, are these photos visible? Are these photographs visible?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no.
Only introduction slide.
The introduction slide is visible, sir.
Oh, what happened? Why it is not moving? No, I have. ഇപ്പൊ കാണാമോ? ഇപ്പം കാണാമോ? ഫോട്ടോ കാണാമോ? ഫോട്ടോസ് കാണാമോ?
No,
Now,
sir. No, sir. No photos.
sir.
Only introduction slide.
I'll do one thing. I will stop sharing and I'll start once again. I don't know what happened.
Okay, sir.
ഇപ്പം കാണാമോ?
സാർ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ഡിലേ ഉണ്ട്. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ഫോട്ടോ കാണാം.
ഫോട്ടോ കാണാം.
Photos കാണാം.
ഓക്കെ. ഈ കഴ്സർ കാണാമോ? കഴ്സറിന്റെ മൂവ്മെന്റ് കാണാമോ? കഴ്സറിന്റെ മൂവ്മെന്റ്.
കഴ്സർ കാണാൻ മൂവ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല, സർ.
ഓക്കെ. എനിവേ ഈ താഴത്തെ ഫോട്ടോയിൽ the people with me are the engineers from Airports Authority of India. Now I am going to the next slide. See here the scope. Now see, the thing is, to find out now we have to combat soil to various densities. Oro density, what is the modulus? Modulus we have to do a plate load test at the field. One plate load test the cost will be more than 2 lakh rupees. So doing about 10 or 15 plate load test, that will cost more than 30 to 35 lakh rupees. So അതായത് നമുക്ക് ഇവർക്ക് വേണ്ടത് മോഡുലസ് വാല്യൂ ആണ്. നമ്മൾ കോമ്പാറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഡെൻസിറ്റി ആണ്. ഡെൻസിറ്റി ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ മോഡുലസ് ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യും. പക്ഷെ ഓരോ തവണയും ഡെൻസിറ്റി കൂട്ടിയിട്ട് മോഡുലസ് കാണണമെങ്കിൽ വി ഹാവ് ഡു എ ഫീൽഡ് പ്ലേറ്റ് ലോഡ് ടെസ്റ്റ്. ബട്ട് ഈച്ച് ഫീൽഡ് പ്ലേറ്റ് ലോഡ് ടെസ്റ്റ് വിൽ കോസ്റ്റ് മോർ ദാൻ 20 lakh rupees. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു മോർ ദാൻ 2 lakh rupees. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു 15 ഫീൽഡ് പ്ലേറ്റ് ലോഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ 30 ലക്ഷം രൂപയാവും. So that much money they did not want to spend. So they wanted some cost effective method. So they consulted us. So what I did was, now these are my students. So can you see photo മാറ്റിയതുണ്ടോ? ഈ പുതിയ ഫോട്ടോ കാണാമോ ഇപ്പം?
കാണാം.
Yeah, so these are my students. See, for each and every project I take students also to field. These are my students about 2 years back. So then in my laboratory I fabricated a test tank with a load setup. So I made a miniature model of plate load test. Because in the laboratory, in the field, to do an actual plate load test, each load test will cost more than 2 lakh rupees. So what I did was I made a model of the same plate load test apparatus in my laboratory, in our research laboratory. So this is a miniature model. So there is a plate here. This is a jack with which we had to apply load. These equipments to measure the load, everything. So these are the photographs. This is the small plate. And then, so then you see, so these are the results. So at various densities, I found I applied load. At various densities of soil, I conducted the model plate load test. I plotted the stress versus settlement curve. And from this, now, but here you see, we are using a very small plate. In the field, we'll be using a bigger plate. Now, for the conversion, Bureau of Indian Standards has given a curve with which we can convert. And with that, I was able, these are the calculations with which I was able to find out at various densities. Table.
കാണാം.
So at various densities, I found out the value of modulus, but with maximum density, we got only a value 21.69, whereas the requirement was 24.3. Upon combat this density, this modulus we cannot achieve. That we found out. So then what we suggested was we can add cement. We can mix cement to soil. So using the equation of Mitchell, we found out the percentage of cement to be added. Then we did the test. We got and we got required value. These are the combustion curve, everything. We gave all the recommendations. Other the 5% cement added, we can get the value 24.3 meganewton per meter cube. We successfully completed the project. But see, research lab with 5% cement, we got perfect results. But when we applied it in the field, airport, the ground, on the ground we had to put cement, we had to mix. Thoroughly cement, Trivandrum Airport is very near to the sea. Bayangra kat. Thoroughly location cement lit mixing cement with the the cement started getting carried away in the wind. And the cement particles, cement particles, they started getting deposited on the aircraft. So we had to abandon the idea. See, in the laboratory, I did a research project. All the field conditions were simulated, but we forgot that in the field there's high wind. Then we had to switch off. Then we had to change. We altered the design. Then we gave an additional granular subbase layer. Then we did the actual field load test. Then we did that. Then see, this setup in the miniature version is the lab. So lab result kitti, pashe lab result field cheyan pattilla, because sometimes certain research results may fail, because when we do research, sometimes failures occur because we may not anticipate all the conditions, all the field conditions. So we anticipate all the type of soil, the density, water content, everything we anticipated. But we forgot about the high wind velocity at Trivandrum Airport. So our method failed. Then we altered the design. We gave an additional thickness to the substrate. Then after doing that, we did the real field plate load test. These are my students with me. These are my students. Then we did all the calculations. These are the equipments. We did all the calculations. These are the calibration curves. Then we applied the corrections for the curve correction, bending correction, saturation correction. Finally, we got a value of 29.28 and 25.1. Our requirement is only 24.3. We got a better result. So anyway, sometimes see, so for this, always when you do research, mistakes sometimes happen. So whenever we do some research, we must go for validation also. Whenever you do research for academic purpose, we must think about validation purpose. So this research was purely funded by Airports Authority of India. Then this is another research which was funded by Center for Engineering Research and Development of Government of Kerala. See, sometimes the soil we stand upon, we think it is very strong. Sometimes, underneath the soil, there can be openings, there can be voids, which we never know. എനിക്ക് the purpose of this research is ഞാൻ റിസർച്ച് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള കാരണം പറയാം. ഞങ്ങളുടെ കോളേജില് ഇപ്പൊ അഗോമയ്ക്ക് അറിയാം, വി ഹാവ് ബിൽഡിംഗ് വി കോൾ ബി ബ്ലോക്ക്. ഒരു പഴയ ബിൽഡിംഗ് ഉണ്ട്, 2 നില ബിൽഡിംഗ്. അപ്പൊ ആ ബിൽഡിങ്ങിന്റെ മേളിൽ, അത് പണ്ട് PWD 40 വർഷം മുമ്പ് പണിത ബിൽഡിംഗ് ആണ്. അതിന്റെ മേളിൽ ഒരു 3ാമത്തെ നില പണിയാൻ പറ്റുമോ എന്ന് നമ്മുടെ മാനേജിങ് ചോദിച്ചു, LBS സെന്റർ ചോദിച്ചു. I inspected the building. ഒരു ഫൗണ്ടേഷൻ സൈഡ് കുഴിച്ചു നോക്കി. I saw foundation very strong. I gave green signal. 3ാമത്തെ നില പണിയാൻ ഞാൻ സമ്മതിച്ചു. They constructed the 3rd floor. Second floor, 3ാം നില. Then after a couple of months, after the completion of construction, for some other purpose, we made a small excavation. Then to my horror, I saw an old pipeline about 45 centimeter, 1.5 adi diameter, 45 centimeter, going right under the foundation of this building. അതായത് ആ ബിൽഡിങ്ങിന്റെ ഫൗണ്ടേഷനിൽ നിന്നും ഒരു 75 സെന്റിമീറ്റർ താഴെയായിട്ട്, ഒരു 2.5 അടി താഴെയായിട്ട്, പണ്ട് ബ്രിട്ടീഷുകാരുടെ കാലത്തോ അതോ പണ്ടത്തെ മഹാരാജാവിന്റെ കാലത്തോ ഇട്ട ഒരു പഴയ പൈപ്പ് ലൈൻ പോകുന്നു. ആ പൈപ്പ് ലൈൻ അങ്ങനെ പോകുന്നത്, ആ പൈപ്പ് ലൈൻ ഉള്ള കാര്യം അറിയാതെ അതിന്റെ നേരെ മേളിൽ PWD ബിൽഡിംഗ് പണിതു. ഇതറിയാതെ ആ ബിൽഡിംഗ് മേളിൽ 3ാം നില ഞാനും പണിതു. റിയലി ഐ വാസ് അഫ്രൈഡ്. എന്തായാലും ദൈവം സഹായിച്ച് ബിൽഡിംഗ് കുഴപ്പം സംഭവിച്ചിട്ടില്ല. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് സ്റ്റിൽ ദർ. ബട്ട് ദാറ്റ് മേഡ് മീ തിങ്ക്. സി, ഇപ്പോ നിങ്ങളൊക്കെ താമസിക്കുന്ന സ്ഥലത്ത്, മേ ബി ഇൻ ട്രിവാൻഡ്രം ഓർ മേ ബി കൊല്ലം ഓർ കോട്ടയം, വേറെവർ യു ആർ, നിങ്ങൾ താമസിക്കുന്ന സ്ഥലത്ത് ദ ഹിസ്റ്ററി ഒരു 50 വർഷം മുമ്പേ, say 50 years back or 100 years back or maybe 200 years back, who all lived there, what all they did in that place, you may know, or there may be some records, or in the place where you live 500 years ago or 1000 years ago or 2000 years ago, who lived there, അവർ അവിടെ എന്തൊക്കെ ചെയ്തു? Nobody knows. See, there are countless underground openings, abandoned mines, abandoned pipelines laid during British era. They are there in many places. I will show you some photographs. I'll show you some. Now, this happened somewhere in Italy. Or highway pattan polunju veenu. The vehicles traveling, they just fell inside. There was a huge cavity underneath. These are possible. This is in UK. Suddenly a cavity formed near to a building. Is it visible? Is the photo visible? This photo കാണുന്നുണ്ടോ?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, this is another building in USA. Building suddenly collapsed. Now, this is in Mysore. They were making an excavation. They discovered an underground tunnel, which is believed to be built by Tipu Sultan in Mysore. See now, Sadikia, now you can see these people. You can see these people standing there. ആ ഭാഗത്ത് ഒരു മനുഷ്യൻ ഒരു ലാൻഡ് വസ്തു വാങ്ങിക്കുകയാണ്. അവിടെ അയാൾ വീട് വെക്കാണ് നിൽക്കുക. 2 മീറ്റർ താഴെയുള്ള ഈ തുരങ്കത്തെ പറ്റി അറിയാതെ വീട് വെക്കുന്നു. വാട്ട് വിൽ ഹാപ്പൻ? അടുത്ത മഴക്കാലം വരുമ്പോൾ എല്ലാം പൊളിഞ്ഞ് താഴെ കിടക്കും. Now, I don't know how many of you read in newspaper. I think about 1 year back, there was a news. ഇവിടെ തിരുവനന്തപുരത്ത് from Kaudiya Palace to Devasam Port, they discovered an underground passage. വായിച്ചിരുന്ന പേപ്പറിൽ? ആരൊക്കെ വായിച്ചു പേപ്പർ? അത് ഓർമ്മയുണ്ടോ? അത് ഐ തിങ്ക് ഒരു വർഷം മുമ്പേ ഒരു സൺഡേ സപ്ലിമെന്റിൽ ഒരു വാർത്ത വന്നു. തിരുവനന്തപുരത്ത് കൗഡിയാർ പാലസിൽ നിന്ന്, ഐ ഹോപ്പ് സം ഓഫ് യു ആർ ഫ്രം ട്രിവാൻഡ്രം, ഇൻ കൗഡിയാർ പാലസ്, രാജകുടുംബത്തിന്റെ പാലസ് ഉണ്ട്. അവിടെ നിന്ന് ദേവസ്വം ബോർഡ് ജംഗ്ഷൻ വരെ they discovered an underground passage. So these sort of passages are everywhere. This is in Chennai. This again in Chennai. This is in Takkalai. How many of you know there's a palace in Takkalai we call as Patnavaram Palace? Marthandappada Kottaramanu. I visited there a couple of years ago. I saw this. Now what you see here is the doorway to a tunnel, an underground passage. So I suggest നിങ്ങൾ വീടൊക്കെ വെക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ഒരു വസ്തു വാങ്ങിക്കുമ്പോൾ പഴയ കൊട്ടാരങ്ങൾ അടുത്തൊന്നും വാങ്ങിക്കരുത്. വാങ്ങിക്കുമ്പോൾ സൂക്ഷിച്ചു വേണം. അവിടെ ഇതേപോലെ അടിയിലുള്ള തുരങ്കങ്ങളൊക്കെ കാണും. Now, suppose, now see, and my experience at my own institution started me to think, suppose if there is an underground passage, suppose if there's an underground passage, I have another meeting. What is to be done? So first of all, you have to locate that passage, locate that opening. Now there are many methods are there. We have geophysical methods available. Now we have GPR. GPR means ground penetrating radar. So in my laboratory, I created a model to find out the influence of void on the foundation of a building. This is the foundation. This is soil. This is underground void. This is eccentricity. This is depth. So I did a finite element analysis. This is numerical modeling. So this is the opening in soil, and I did some work. And then in the laboratory, I recreated the same model. So this is the laboratory setup. So to form a void while filling, I kept a pipe. While filling soil, I put a pipe. After filling, I removed the pipe. So there is an opening here now. So this is how I created the void in the laboratory model. And then for various loadings, I did the test. These are the sensors inside soil. I did some so these are some of the results. Anyway, from this, I was able to find out the influence zone of a foundation. When you apply load through a foundation, I found influence zone. If the void is outside, then we are safe. Anyway, so these are some of the results. I found out the stress concentration, etc. So these are some of the results. Anyway, just I wanted to share with you some of experiences in research in the field of civil engineering. But these researches we did after my PhD. These researches I did after my PhD, not as part of my academic curriculum, not as part of a PhD. Anyway, so I understand many of you are doing your PhD. So please do it with full vigor. As Professor Deepa was saying, that must be there in the subconscious mind. Because ഞാൻ PhD ചെയ്ത part time ആണ്. I completed in 4 years. എപ്പോഴും that fire ഉള്ളിലെ തീ വേണം എപ്പോഴും. That fire must be burning inside you for research. So that is a thing. And I think I shared a small experience with you. I saw some messages that I think there is some issue with network. So my suggestion, as Professor Deepa said, do a good research, and but after your PhD, with the research experience, do some research for the benefit of society, do some research for the industry so that they can solve their problems. That's all from me. Anyway, thank you for patient listening. And once again, I invite all of you for the conference in which we are organizing at our institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, and good evening, sir. I am Rashmi Shekhar from Government Women's Polytechnic College, Trivandrum. Actually, it was a very really motivating session. The tips you have shared will be very much valuable for our participants, especially those from the civil engineering branch. And this is the first time we are coming in contact with you, sir. And we would like to keep in touch you in our future ventures also. I thank you wholeheartedly on behalf of Government Women's Polytechnic College, Trivandrum, for being with us this evening. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ സെഷൻ ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്യണം. ഫീഡ്ബാക്ക് ഫോം എല്ലാവരും കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് ഫില്ല് ചെയ്ത് തരിക. കാരണം അതിൻ്റെ റെസ്പോൺസ് നമുക്ക് ആവശ്യമാണ്. കാരണം സജഷൻസും ഒക്കെ നമുക്ക് ആവശ്യമാണ് ഇനി ഫ്യൂച്ചർ FTPയിൽ. അപ്പം എല്ലാവരും ആ ഫോം എബൌട്ട് 50 ആൾക്കാർ തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്, ബാക്കിയുള്ളവരും കൂടെ തരണം. അപ്പം നാളത്തെ സെഷൻ്റെ ഒരു ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോഴേ പറയാം. നാളെ നമുക്ക് രാവിലെ സാറിൻ്റെ പേപ്പർ കറക്ഷൻ, ലൈവ് പേപ്പർ കറക്ഷനാണ്. അപ്പം നല്ല ഒരു ഇൻട്രാക്റ്റീവ് സെഷനൊക്കെ ആയിരിക്കും. ഉച്ചയ്ക്ക് നമ്മുടെ പല ബ്രാഞ്ചിൽ നിന്നുള്ള ആൾക്കാരുണ്ട്. മെക്കാനിക്കൽ ഉണ്ട്, സിവില്, ഇലക്ട്രിക്കല്, കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ, ഇലക്ട്രോണിക്സ്. അപ്പം അവർ കുറച്ചും കൂടെ പ്രിപ്പയർഡ് ആയിട്ട് വരിക. കാരണം എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ഷെയറിംഗ് ആണ്. എല്ലാ ഫാക്കൽറ്റീസും അവർക്ക് ഡൗട്ട് അവർ എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്യണം നിങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട്സ് ഉണ്ടോയെന്ന്. കാരണം ഇലക്ട്രിക്കലിൽ നിന്നും പ്രൊഫസറുണ്ട്, മെക്കാനിക്കലിൽ നിന്നും പ്രൊഫസറുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പം സിവിലിൻ്റെ സാറാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ വന്നത്. പിന്നെ സുനിൽ സാറും ഉണ്ടാവും, ദീപ ടീച്ചറും ഉണ്ടാവും. അപ്പം നമുക്ക് എന്ത് വേണമെങ്കിലും റിസർച്ചുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട നമ്മുടെ ഏരിയ അതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് എന്ത് ഡിസ്കഷൻ, ഒരു പാനൽ ഡിസ്കഷൻ പോലെയാണ്. ക്ലാസ് അല്ല. ഉച്ചയ്ക്ക് ശേഷം നമ്മൾ ചില ആൾക്കാർ PPT ഇടുമെങ്കിലും ഒരു ദേ ആർ എക്സ്പെക്ടിങ് സം ഡൗട്ട് അബൌട്ട് ദ റിസർച്ച്. അപ്പം നിങ്ങൾ അത് ആയിട്ട് റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ട് വരിക കേട്ടോ. സോ താങ്ക് യു ഫോർ യുവർ കോർപ്പറേഷൻ ഇൻ അറ്റൻഡിങ് ദിസ് FTP. So tomorrow we will see at 10.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Okay.